Hey guys, Joe Fish back again with a little update on the project scales. Raptor scales. There we go. As you know, I got this Raptor backs from Alpha Outpost, and I also said that I was going to be affixing some scales to these knives, which I intend on doing. I've ordered the scales. They'll be here next week. I'll do another little video on that. I might take and cut a little piece off and just kind of work with it to see what it's going to look like. The thing is, as I've been looking into these, I'm finding some issues that might cause a problem. And that is, these holes are so big that I'm afraid that if I try to tightly put a pin in this, the thin edges of the scales that I'm going to create, because they are going to be right up next to that and taper in, that I'm going to have an issue with splitting. Deathly afraid of splitting this, because if I split one, I don't think I'll be able to recover. I'll have to reorder, and that'll set the whole project back a couple weeks, and I don't want to do that. So I have an idea of what I'm going to do with these two holes that I think would look really cool. And that is, I'm going to use the scales, I'm going to drill the holes in the wood, I'm going to drill the holes in the blocks first, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some copper pipe. I'm going to get some copper pipe that'll be loose, not loose, somewhat snug. I'll have to go up in size. If I have to, I can get a wooden dowel and expand that just a little bit. And then I'm going to put that in the center. So there'll be the scales with the copper O-ring, somewhat like that, so to speak. And that's going to be what's going to kind of affix that. I also contemplating just doing one on either end here and covering these up completely. I'm lost on what to do, because these edges here coming so close, it's gonna be a challenge, to say the least, but one I look forward to. I think it's gonna be fun. I think once I get them on here and get a nice, put a little work the edge a little bit more. Excuse me. I work the edge a little bit more. These are going to be pretty awesome little showpieces. I might even make a little stand for them and just kind of have them for display. You know, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. It would make a good gift too, I think. I think they would be neat. I can't wait. I have started buying some supplies. Just simple stuff. Clamps. I bought some epoxy. Clear. Sets in 5 minutes. This is always the last step. You always dry fit. When attaching scales, you always dry fit, and then dry fit again, and then dry fit one more time just to be sure. Then you glue. Now what I'm going to have to do with this, I'm going to take some brake parts cleaner, because there's packing oil on these. I'm going to have to give them a real good clean. And then also what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rough, maybe 180 grit sandpaper and go over this. And that's going to allow the surface to get broken up, which will let the epoxy have something to grip and hold on to. And the rough edges on that, and also when I take my scale, if you can imagine this is my scale, what I'm also going to do is take a drill bit and just put a bunch of little holes on either side of the scale. So if we have our scale here on either end, holes, holes, we have a rough grip here. If I take this and I put them together, that epoxy is going to fill into both of the surfaces that I roughed up on the knife, as well as fill in and bond to the scales, the wood, into those small holes, so that when I clamp and that epoxy starts to fill out, expand, you know, from the pressure of the clamps, it's going to go up into those crevices. It's going to create a stronger, harder bond, and I'm hoping I may not have to rely on, I'm doing that for the purpose that I won't have to rely on pinning as the sole method of keeping the scales affixed to the knife. I'm hoping more that I can get away with scale being more as a visual aspect to it than an actually functioning piece of the scale. So I picked up some 400 grit, 4 to 600, also 220 to 320 grit. I'm going to rough it in with this, or I'm going to rough it in with a different grit. Get it down close. Start to finish with that. Finish with this, and wet sand it with that. What up, bud? You just get out of the tubby. You want to go outside? It's like almost snowing out, bro. No, we're not gonna. We're gonna. Nope, we're not gonna do that either. Here. You're okay. Yep, I found that. Good job, buddy. You found it.
I found it.
Good job.
I want to get up here.
What do you do when you find it? You give it to daddy or mommy, right?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. That's right.
And then we're going to go shooting.
These are knives. You don't go shooting with knives, Bubba.
I'm not. It's annoying.
Nope.
I'm making a shooting gun for pain.
We'll go shooting again another day, buddy.
Yes, we will go shoot.
Yep, we'll go shoot. And as far as this one goes, I'm just going to use small brass pins for this. I've got obviously plenty of options to go to. Same concept. Rough it up so that I have a bonding surface. And when the scales come in, I think you guys are really going to enjoy kind of what easy there, bro. I think you guys are going to enjoy the selection I picked for these scales. Well, it's time to wrap it up because all concentration has been lost. Ooh, that hurt? You got a booger on your lip, bro. Gross. You want to go up and say hi? Say hi. No? Okay. Bubba, you want to come say Joe Fish out?
Joe Fish out?
Come here. You can come sit on Daddy's lap and say Joe Fish out. Alright, you guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that down below. I thought you wanted to sit on Daddy's lap and say Joe Fish out.
What's he doing without me?
Here.
Ready?
Ready? Say Joe Fish out.
Joe Fish out.
Alright.